But we're only a few days away from Christmas. We are 12. Well, no, we're less than that. We're like 8 days away from Christmas.
Yeah. Friday next week.
Yep, absolutely. 8 days away from Christmas. And what I'm wondering is how things are going to be different for Santa Claus this year. I mean, for crying out loud, he's got to wear that outfit. Now, apparently, he's got to wear a mask. I think
masked person breaking into your house on Christmas Eve, that's not going to get shot.
No, he probably, I mean, for crying out loud, does he just put his hands up and yell ho, ho, ho before he comes in? I mean, what does he have to do? I have no idea. And if you got all that beard, how do you even put a mask on? Like, I think he's going to have to wear a lady's bra or something. That's massive, man. I don't know how he's going to do that. Also, I'm not sure how he's going to do the naughty and nice list this year. Because we've all been stuck at home. We've all drank too much. We've all imbibed everything that there possibly is that you can imbibe. We've been so bored that we've tried things that you should never try. Hence the crotch karate that you saw earlier. And right out loud, the bar for good is gonna have to be really, really freaking low this year. And how can we get mad at kids? I mean, they've been locked in, and for crying out loud, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've seen all this online learning crap, but if I were forced to learn online, you know what I'd be learning? I'd be learning a whole lot of the Oregon Trail and whatever other video game I could find. That's what I'd be learning. So I don't know how we're going to tell whether the kids have been good or not. Maybe they can create a COVID test that when you're getting a COVID test, it'll tell you whether you've been good or not after it goes up your nose.
With the candy cane.
I saw this thing the other night, speaking of the COVID test, that apparently there's a new COVID test being developed that is a breathalyzer. And it's being developed by a company in Texas in conjunction with Texas A&M. And all I could think to myself was, well, of course it's a breathalyzer. It's developed by people in Texas. That's all we know. It's got to be a breathalyzer. Apparently, this thing will tell you whether you have COVID. All you have to do is like breathe into it, and that's it. My question is, if you really want to make some money, you need to use this same concept on STDs as well. Right out loud, you want to make some money, put one of them bad boys in a bar and you got something working. I mean, you can always have a girl run through right before you take her home, and that way you know whether you're clean or not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a great idea.
Then a beeper goes off. Bah, 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 genital warts, bah, 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 syphilis.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And I mean, there's a ton of different applications. I mean, because let's face it, we haven't been to a bar for a while. None of us have been to a bar for a while. We haven't been out. We don't really remember how to do that. So the next time we go to a bar, you know mistakes are going to get made because you're going to drink way, way more than you should.
That's probably true.
And
Oh
that
my
girl that looks real good on the other side of the bar might actually be Randy Always.
Oh,
I'm
never been
saying,
that drunk.
I'm
Hey, I'll tell
saying
you
that.
what, you know, it ain't easy being me, okay? You know, keep going. It's all right. Just
Oh
keep
my
to
God.
name.
I'm
That's
just
all
saying
right.
this is another application for the breathalyzer, so you know who you're actually dealing with before you leave the bar.
Yeah.
Good idea. Great
Before,
idea.
during, and
And
after.
and I just have to mention this one more thing because people aren't thinking about this. We haven't been out anywhere. We haven't done anything. Can you imagine all of the people that get in their cars after they take the vaccine and it's all good? Can you imagine all the people that haven't driven in 8 months? It's going to be like 400 million Mr. Magoo's back on the road.
Oh,
It's
God.
gonna be unbelievable. It's going to be horrible. And
Yeah.
I for one am glad. I for one am glad that I don't drive, because if I run over somebody's foot, I can say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I had a spasm." I don't know what the rest of you people are gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you should save that excuse for Think. Thinker, do you still drive?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Thought it'd be more fun if you did.
Well, you know that. But him, I'm not worried about. What I'm worried about is all of the 91-year-old people that aren't him, and they're like, I haven't been to bingo in the last 8 months. I'm going to bingo. I don't even want
I'm
to
going
see
to
that.
bingo.
That's not going to be a good thing. You know what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
I'm terrified. So here's what I've decided. Because nobody likes the DP. So what needs to happen is we just give them a test online, right? Because that's secure. We give them a test, and all it says is, are you willing to be liable for whoever you take out when you're first on the road? Because let's face it, we've had all this trouble with COVID, so there's gonna be less people on the road, and by the time it's all over, nobody's really gonna care who they take out. I mean, it's gonna be really bad, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be awful. So here's what I've decided. And then I'm getting off the stage. Here's what I've decided. What needs to happen is while you're at the bar with the breathalyzer machine that I was talking about earlier, it also needs to have a function that tells you whether or not you should try and drive, right? And the way that you pull that off is that you do the breathalyzer, and then you have them put on the beer goggles. And I know you've all experienced beer goggles, and you know whether or not you'll be able to drive. The problem is that all of us that have not been out for so long are not gonna, it's not gonna matter whether we're drunk or not. We're all going to be bad.
Yeah.
So I've decided that the insurance companies are going to make a ton of money, and I think I'm going to become an ambulance chasing lawyer in the next 6 months so I can cash it.
Ah.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got.
No.
Yay! Give it up for Jamie.
Yay.